Welcome to today's deep dive. Um, you drop serious cash on a new 4K streaming box, plug it right into your trusty vintage stereo amplifier, and you get muddy audio, missing dialogue, or just dead silence.
Right, yeah. It is just a massive format mismatch.
Exactly. So today we are looking at a solution. We are tearing apart the spec sheet for the Gain Audio AT-HDR-M2C. We want to see why this 1-inch metal box, which goes for about $575, is, the missing puzzle piece for complex home theater setups.
It is essentially a hardware translator
Mhm.
because the core problem is that your new Apple TV or maybe gaming console is firing off these massive data-heavy surround sound
Like
formats.
Dolby True HD, right?
Exactly, yes. And your classic two-channel system physically cannot process any of that spatial data. It does not know what to do with it.
Right. So let's look at how it solves this.
Okay.
Because, in the past, I have thought of down mixing, like taking a giant 100-piece symphony and just shoving them all into a tiny jazz club.
Which would just sound like total chaotic noise.
Right. But this box somehow keeps the audio totally intact. How's it doing that?
So it does it by actively prioritizing. It extracts the raw digital bit stream right off the HDMI cable first. Then, instead of just recklessly squashing all 7 or 8 audio channels together, its processor intelligently discards the spatial data.
Oh, so like the stuff that makes a helicopter sound like it is flying behind your head?
Yeah, that gets tossed.
Mm.
But at the same time, it isolates and preserves the center channel, which is where all your dialogue lives, plus the main left and right channels for the musical score.
Ah, I see. So it is doing the math to ensure the voices and the melody actually survive the compression.
Exactly. And then it spits that out as a clean 2-channel PCM signal, which, is just standard uncompressed digital audio. It sends that out through an optical Toslink cable or your standard analog RCA jacks.
Okay, I get that. But look, I am staring at the video specs on this sheet, and honestly, I'm kind of lost. Half the sheet is video stuff.
Well, it has to be, unfortunately.
But if this is strictly an audio extractor, why am I reading about 18 gigabit per second bandwidth and like four chroma sampling? Is that just marketing fluff to justify the price?
I mean, it definitely sounds like fluff until you realize how HDMI actually works. HDMI marries audio and video into a single intertwined data stream.
Oh, right, they travel together.
Yeah, they do. So to extract the audio, this Gain audio box has to sit right in the middle of your signal chain. It has to ingest everything. And if it cannot handle the massive data load of pristine 4K video, it instantly becomes a bottleneck.
I see what you mean. So it is like a toll booth on a huge multi-lane highway.
That is a great way to put it, yeah.
Right, like if the toll booth only has one lane open to process the audio toll, the video traffic just backs up and your picture quality completely tanks.
Spot on. That 18 Gbps bandwidth means it can let the heaviest 4K video traffic pass through at 60 frames per second without compressing it at all.
Wait, and what about that four chroma spec?
That simply means it is not throwing away any color data to save processing space. It maintains absolute color accuracy, passes all the high dynamic range Dolby Vision data, and hands the video off to your TV completely untouched.
Okay, so it sits invisibly right between the source and the TV, handling this massive video pass-through while stripping the audio.
Hmm.
But if it is tucked away in an equipment rack, which the specs say it is designed for, how do you actually adjust the sound?
That is where the commercial-grade features show up. You do not need to physically touch it. It actually eliminates the need for an external DSP or digital signal processor because it has built-in IP control.
Meaning it just connects to my network?
Yep. As long as it is plugged into your home network, you can pull up a WebGUI, basically just a control panel right on your phone or laptop's web browser. You can tweak the volume, bass, and treble from the couch.
That is incredibly handy, actually. And you could even manage the ED communications from there, right?
You can, yes.
Which, if I remember correctly, is the digital handshake where your TV basically tells the streaming box, hey, I can handle 4K video, but I can only accept stereo sound.
Exactly. And, sometimes that handshake fails, causing black screens or audio dropouts. This unit lets you manually force that handshake so your devices stop confusing each other.
So it really takes all the guesswork out of the signal chain. It is like the ultimate traffic controller. You get to keep using your beloved high-end stereo gear without sacrificing the visual quality of your new 4K displays.
It really highlights that you do not have to throw away a perfectly good audio system just because your video standards evolved. It is the perfect hidden bridge.
It is. But, it does leave you wondering, as audio and video formats continue to just balloon in size, I mean, think about 8K video and a 128-channel audio.
Oh yeah, the file sizes are getting ridiculous.
Right, so will we always rely on these clever standalone translator devices to keep our old hardware talking to the new stuff? Or is the tech industry eventually going to force us to upgrade our entire entertainment system in one agonizing swoop? Something to think about next time you check your cables.